Hi everyone. So we're ready to start our 2019 Mixed Media Morsels this year doing the snack bag book. If you haven't seen my video where I introduced what we're going to be doing, I will link that video at the end of this video and you'll be able to see the introduction and know what it is that we're going to be doing. But this is our little snack bag book that we're going to use this year. It is a file folder. I used a file folder for a cover, and I've got 3 small paper bags, and they're really small. They're smaller than a lunch bag, so that's the reason for the word or the term snack bag, because they're little and just really cute. So we're going to be decorating 1 page a month in our little snack bag book. I already put this label. This is a copy of one of my painted papers, and I've already attached it to the cover, and I did film a little video that I'm going to insert here. And you'll see in this video that before I covered the file folder piece, I did cover the spine area with some medical tape. It's just some paper tape, and it gives it some strength and stability in the spine area. And so I went around a couple of times on that just to make sure that it was going to be really substantial. And then once I got that done, I just simply laid my file folder cover onto the sticker label. And you guys can use painted papers or jelly prints or anything else that you may have also. But I laid it there and just left a small, like a 1/4 of an inch around, and that way I didn't have so much excess to work with while I was sticking it to the file folder piece. And as you're seeing, I just stuck it to the file folder, pressed it down, and the important thing to remember is to just do one side of the book at a time, fold it in the middle as you go around, bringing the label or the paper around. Fold it as you go so that your spine will not tear and crack from too much pressure being on it. If you fold it while you're, bringing your paper around, you're giving it enough paper. So that way you won't have any tears. So after that, I just trimmed it off and we had a cover. So once I had the cover done, I just folded my bags in half. I laid them inside the file folder cover and took 2 little hair ties, hair elastics, and looped them together to use as the binding that holds the bags in place, and also for the closure on the book. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to decorate the first page of my book. I will probably come back later and do some stuff on the inside covers, but for now I'm going to just leave it as it is, and I just want to go ahead and get started on this first page. Now I'm going to take the page out of the book and work on it that way so that all of this excess book and cover and all that is not in my way. I'm just going to set it aside, and I'm going to just work on this, this is the page I'm working on. So I'm going to open it up, and I know that I'm going to work on this square. The prompt for today's page is circles, or circle, whichever you like, one or multiple, but circles is the idea. And you don't necessarily have to do a page in the exact same way that I'm doing mine, just whatever your interpretation is of circles. You can draw an item that's a circle, you can paint circles, you can stamp circles, you can do anything. Just let your imagination take you wherever you want to go. For mine, I'm gonna use a little piece of this fun foam. I thought it would be fun to use it to stamp with, just as a piece of foam. And I'm gonna cut it into a circle that's a pretty good size circle, almost the size of this page. So I'm just making sure that this is, I laid my book on it earlier, just kind of roughly cut out a piece of foam so that I would know it was about the right size. And I'm just going to freehand cut a circle because none of this stuff has to be perfect, right? it's just fun. So I'm just going to freehand cut, and I'm sure I'll have to make some little corrections here and there, but I'm just going to cut around and get the beginning of the circle done first, and then we'll come back and make corrections. Okay, so you can see it's a little wonky and lopsided. So I'm just going to keep, you know, moving around, getting, you know, what looks like a circle to me. Still looks a little bit oblong, maybe. See if we can trim a tiny bit more here, maybe on one side. That's not too bad. Okay, not perfect, but circular. All right, let's see. Oh, it's still a little bit big, so that tells me where I'll need to do a little more trimming. And this to me is fun, just to be able to create without having to use a lot of fancy equipment, you know? You can just use what you have, scissors, you know? Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm gonna do a little tiny bit more though. Okay, a little bit here too. All right. Now I'm going to be stamping with this, so if you guys decide that you're going to use some foam to stamp with like this, make sure you don't let your scissors or your fingernails or anything like that dig into it as you're holding it. You got to hold it gently. If your fingernails or anything dig into it, when you stamp, you will see every one of those little marks. So just keep that in mind if you're going to be cutting some foam, okay? All right, I think we're pretty close to being done. You see that I'm just taking a tiny bit at a time, and that way I can get it the size I need without getting too small and having to start all over again. So we're getting closer. Here we go. I think this is going to be the last little bit. Yeah, okay, that's what I was looking for. A circle that sits just inside the edges of the page. Okay, so all I'm going to do now is just going to paint just some messy, maybe stripes or whatever, just to put some paint on the page. And like I said, I'm just going to use it as a stamp, and I think it'll be a fun looking, you know, painterly, artsy looking little bit of fun, you know. Okay, so I've got some paint already out over here. I've got some orange and I've got some red. And I'm just gonna really just paint some stripes. Okay, and like I said, I'm not looking for perfection here at all. I'm just looking for fun. And you do want to make sure you get enough paint on here that it's going to transfer. And some of my colors are going to mix together as I paint. No big deal. Okay, so I've got to get a wet wipe from my fingers. Don't want to smear it on anything else. Okay, I'm not cleaning my brush either. I am going to wipe it off just a bit, but I'm not going to clean it. Okay, so then I've got red over here as well. And I'm just going to put some more painty stripes. Whoops, I had a lot of paint on the brush that time. Okay, so we pretty much have the circle covered. All right, and it'll be a little bit messy, but I don't care. You know, this is mixed media art. It's supposed to be messy. Okay. All right, so I'm going to take it and just turn it over. I'm going to have my stripes going kind of vertically, I think, and I'm going to lay it in the center. Okay, now because it's got paint on the back side too, so I'm not smearing stuff everywhere, I'm going to lay a piece of paper over the top before I press it in, just to make sure we don't get paint everywhere. Okay, and then I'm going to lift it off. See, that's just fun to me. That's just fun. Okay, now what can I put in there to kind of add some more here and there, some more bits? think I'll go with maybe a little yellow. I think I'm gonna just go in some of these areas where it looks like there was not as much paint, just to put a little bit of this color here and there. Okay, so I'm gonna turn it, let's see. I'll just go here. Not as much paint going on this time. See, that's cool. Very cool. All right, so I'm gonna dip the circle over here and just use it like a, oops, like it's a smaller stamp, even though it's not, and just use the edge to fill in where I want some more of that color. There we go. All right, I think that looks fun. And then we're going to do more to it to make it even more fun. But we need to dry it up first. Okay, so the paint is dry now, and I'm going to add a little bit of stenciling with a contrasting color. So I'm just thinking about where I want to put a few circles. And I'm going to try to keep these inside this painted area in the big circle. Look how cool that looks. Yeah, I like that. I went through my, scrappy bits and leftovers. A lot of these are strips, and I thought, it'd be kind of cool to add some other colors and contrast as well, like something like that. Something like that real bright on that orangey color would be cute. Of course, some black and white, it's always going to look nice. Here's some security envelope too. Let's see if we can cut some little strips and just glue some bits and pieces here and there. Like, I have no idea what I'm going to do here, guys. This is just sitting down to play and glue stuff onto a piece of paper. That's a piece, or onto my paper bag. I'm gonna just lay out some things. I've also got some butterflies that I stamped onto some tissue paper a while back. Here's a dragonfly on a book text. Here's a little flower that I cut from a little calendar page, which I think might look really pretty on here, actually. It's nice. Okay, so I'm going to keep that laying out just to remember what I'm looking at here. I've got some black dots on tissue paper. Here's a leftover edge that I had trimmed off of another jelly print. That's kind of cool with the letters on it too. I like that. So I think I've got enough choices laid out now of things I might want to add. And we'll go from there. I also have some washi tapes out that might look good, little bits and pieces of here and there. So like I said, I don't really know what I'm going to do. I've got an initial C, a stamp out here that I thought I might stamp onto some book paper and add it onto my collage. So let's just see what happens. I've got to look this over real quick and decide what I want to use. All right, I took out some of those items that I thought might work over here, and I wanted to point out, because these are paper bags, you're going to see areas like this that are probably going to need just a little bit of repair work on them. So either before you start, or like right now I'm noticing it, you're going to probably want to get some glue and just go ahead and tack those down just to keep it from being a problem, in the future. And interfering once you've got a bunch of other things stuck down and you can't get back to it to glue it down. So that worked good. This Fabrifix works real well, and it dries really quickly. So it's got a really strong odor, but I use it just minimally, so I don't have to breathe it too long, but it does work really well, and it doesn't dry bumpy underneath there or anything like that. So before I start gluing any of the collage pieces on, I think I'm going to take a Posca pen and just draw around my circle, just kind of loose and scribbly, you know how I do. And just to pop it up off of that brown page. And make it more obvious. Okay, there we go. Just loose and messy, doesn't matter. It's all gonna look great in the end. Okay, so I like that. Gives it some definition. And I'm just going to start building the collage bits on now. I do think I'm going to use a little bit of this. This is some Dina Wakley media tape with the writing on it, and I'm thinking I'm going to put a little of that over here. I don't know, maybe I'll put it here where the flower's going to go. That's kind of cool looking. Let's see. It's all about laying it out and seeing what you think. You know, how you like it. Probably should have kept it where it was to start with. I'm going to be gluing this down to make sure that it stays. Now this flower is going off the circle somewhat. So, okay, I need to move it over a tiny bit more. Okay, like right in there. And there we go. And I'm going to put some glue stick under there just to hold it down. Make sure it stays in place. There we go. Okay. Now I know my flower is going to go over here, and I might put this little butterfly someplace. I don't know. I was thinking about that before I thought about putting that there. I was kind of going to put it here, but I kind of like that there too. So maybe I'll put the butterfly over here. I'll have to cut that out in a minute with my water brush. Okay. These are little stripes that I chose. I don't know for sure how they're going to work just yet. But, let's see. How did I have this laid out? Oh, I think I had a little bit of this envelope in here. And then that. And then maybe a little bit of the black and white gift wrap paper. I like that. I think that's pretty. Okay, so now I need to kind of trim these off and decide, you know, where. Like I think I maybe want them to come off the edge, like right to the edge of the page, like that. Okay, I'm going to add one more thing before I start gluing, and that is, I think I want to take the Posca pen again and just kind of fill in the background just a little bit, and I'm just going to make some little circles, you know, different sizes, and just hand-drawn little messy circles. There we go. So cute. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and trim that off because there's glue on it and don't want it sticking to everything. And there's a tiny bit on this side. Oops. And I actually had stamped that little C onto this book paper. Oh, and let me show you so I can move this out of the way. When I've been off camera, I have been using up the paint that I had out in my the book I'm altering. So I just wanted to show you guys it is not going to waste, and that will be turned into a page later. Just a matter of trying different things. I do think I like this, and then maybe have a word right here. I think that would be awesome. Okay, that's what I'll do. So I'm going to start with this. Okay, I think I found the word I like. One that I already had in my stash. I'm using stuff, guys. So I'm just gonna put this one on there. I'm not gonna do a lot of thinking about it. Just gonna do it because I like it. This has been so much fun, and I hope you guys enjoyed it and are anxious to work in your snack bag books. They are right this minute sold out in my shop. I am going to be adding some more. So for anybody who still wants one, who hasn't gotten one yet, I am going to be adding more. It's going to take a few days. I've got to get some more of the copies made up for the outside of the cover, and get those packed up and stuff, but I will have more, so just keep checking back in my shop. There's a link to my Etsy store in the description box, and it's pretty easy to find. So there you go, guys. That's the first page in my snack bag book, and I hope you enjoy creating the first page in yours too. And I hope you will come and join us in the Mixed Media Morsels Facebook group and share what you've created. And until then, we'll see you again next time. We'll be doing these once a month. Make sure that you are subscribed to my channel and that you've clicked the notification bell, and that way you'll know when I put up the next video in the series and any of the other videos that I put up. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.